Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am bringing you a fun fold today because it is Fun Fold Friday. So I am excited to bring that to you because I love fun folds. They are great. I've been using Perched in a Tree all week, and if you're new to my channel, I would love if you would subscribe. That would be awesome. I do 5 free classes a week, and so you get those for free. I use the same stamp set for all of my projects in a week. Starting on Sunday, I have videos on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday I do a live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday I take that off. Thursday I'm back. Friday I'm back, and then Saturday I'm off. But I do blog 7 days a week, so you have content on my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. You can go there and you will have 7 days of content. Thanks again for being here, and let's go ahead and get started and make this really cool card. I like to call it a crossover gatefold card because it's a gatefold, which is this pumpkin pie color that you see. A gatefold card folds in the center and opens from the sides, but these two pieces that I put on the front, they cross over the top and they cross with each other. You can't close it like this. You actually have to cross them to close your card. So that's why I call it a crossover gatefold. And we are going to go ahead and get started making this fun card. All of the items I used are in the description below with links to my store so that you can purchase those. And I would love to be your demonstrator. If you don't have one, let me know if you need a copy of a catalog, and I'd be happy to send that to you after you place your first order. I do have complimentary copies on my website of digital so that you can look at what's there. So head on over to my hub, which is inkyhandswarmhearts.com, and you can get started that way. Please feel free to shoot me a message. Let me know where you're from and that you're interested in having me as your demonstrator so that I can help you out and get you started in the world of stamping. All right, guys, so we are going to start with a piece of pumpkin pie that is 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to grab my scoreboard because we are going to score it. So the way that you do a gatefold, you're going to score it at 2 1/8, which is 1 tick mark after the 2. Okay, you're going to score it on that end, and then you're going to flip this over, do the same thing, 2 1/8. All right, so there's your 2 score marks. Move my board down. And then I like to go ahead and fold with a bone folder. So I am going to bring that over, and then I'm going to have this one meet it. And I like to hold them together, kind of hold them like that, and just hold on to them tight, and then press my bone folder on that last piece. Again, I'm going to do it the other direction as well and make sure that my cardstock, that there's no gap. That's the most important thing. You don't want a gap in your gate, right? So you want to make sure that you hold those 2 ends when you're doing your burnishing, and then that keeps them nice and sealed and nice and tight. So on the inside, I will show you, this is our card. So on the inside, we have a couple pieces down here. We have a strip of gray granite, which is this color here, and a gray granite beautiful leaf. This is from this die set, and you can see how gorgeous it puts this beautiful veining on our leaf. So we are going to be using that on the inside, and some gray granite. So let's go ahead and do a little coloring. I'm going to move my base that I just scored and burnished. We're going to color this strip here. See, they are from the same piece. And we'll do the inside of our card first, and then we'll go ahead and color our bird as well. So I already have him die cut, and I have already colored my branch just to save us a little time. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper. I like to use that when I'm coloring, and I'm going to kind of line this up so that I color the same colors on there. So I am using pumpkin pie, gray granite, crumb cake, and soft suede. So I'm going to start with my big bright color here, and I'm going to start with pumpkin pie. It is our brightest of all of our colors. So I'm starting with it. I want to make sure that I have enough pop of this color on my card here. And this designer series paper is gorgeous. It is just the prettiest paper. I love these beautiful leaves. And you can leave them how they are. This is our Rustic Harvest paper. You can leave them as they are, or you can use your blends and color them to match any card that you make. So I'm going to make this one. I'm also going to make this one pumpkin pie. So I'm going to start with my strip. I'm going to hold that in place and do this end first. And then this one. It's so fast to color with blends. Then I want to do this one over here because I want that end to also have a little pumpkin pie. So I'm going to do that. And we're almost done with pumpkin pie. For now, anyway. I think I'm going to do this corner leaf here of the little pumpkin pie to have a little pop in that corner also of some pumpkin pie. I think I want one more leaf in pumpkin pie, so I'm going to do this corner here as well. I just really want a nice pop of that brightness, so I may add a little more in a minute, but for right now, that's where we're headed. So we're going to use our soft suede, the light soft suede. And I'm going to do this leaf here. I'm also going to do this leaf here. So that means this one gets done in the same color. I'm using the brush tip this time. I'm going to do this opposite side here also. All right, that looks good. And I'm going to do another pop right here in this corner of that soft suede and maybe this corner here. All right, let's move on to the next color, gray granite. So we're going to use, I used the light gray granite, but I think I'm actually going to use the dark this time. I think I want it to stand out a little bit more. So we're going to do this leaf here, which means this matching one. Will also be gray granite. Okay. And then let's do this one here. Oh, I forgot to do that part of our, the stem of this. You guys were probably yelling at me and I didn't hear you, of course. All right. And let's do this one here. I love this color. It's so pretty. It's like a brown gray. All right. And then our final color is going to be our crumb cake. And so I'm going to use the dark crumb cake. And we'll do this leaf here. So we'll do this end here of the leaf. That piece is done, so that one's out of the way. We've got to do a little filling in over here. So we're going to do this in the crumb cake and this small leaf here in crumb cake, and then this one. So we're just filling in our last few pieces with our crumb cake. Okay, so this one's done now. Fantastic. We've got to do our bird. So we have our DSP colored nicely, so let's color our bird. So we're going to use gray granite, and we're going to start, I think I'm going to use the dark gray granite. We're going to do this underside here of our bird. We're going to start here, and we're going to do this part of the wing, just a portion. And I did look up some birds to try and figure out what colors I wanted to give them. And this is what I chose, so. That's how I came up with these colors for this card. I just Googled winter birds, and then I found a couple different bird colors and decided to roll with those. I'm not really a bird connoisseur, but I just thought this cute little bird, I just loved his little chubby self. I thought he was adorable, so wanted to add a little. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this color also through here and around his eye and like to this part of his head. Okay, so we're just going to add some colors there. I'm going to do the pumpkin pie. It's going to be a nice bright color, and it's going to come around his eye here, down this section, and around his beak. So pretty. So there is that. I'm going to go around his eye area also, like so. All right, so that's the pumpkin pie. And let's grab the light soft suede. And we're going to come around here at the top of his head and stroke these feathers. So pretty. All right, and we're also going to use the light soft suede to highlight all of these little kind of feathers down at this lower section. And I'm also gonna kind of highlight this section here of our bird. I just like that. And then I'm gonna use the dark soft suede for his feet and his beak. So there's his beak and his little feets. All right. I'm also gonna add a few highlights here on these feathers. I like that color. All right, so there's our little bird, all done. So that's all of our coloring. We're gonna do a little ink blending now. We're gonna blend this piece here. Hopefully it's the right size. Yes, it is. This piece of basic white is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. I'm going to use the same scrap paper. And I'm going to start first with a little bit of balmy blue. And then I'm going to gray it out with a little bit of gray granite. So I'm just going to move all these pieces so that by accident, I don't, get any ink on them. So we're going to start first with this bright color, which is see how bright it is? So I'm going to wipe most of it away. I don't want it that bright. And I'm just going to slowly add that pretty blue, balmy blue, all over my basic white piece that I told you is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to fill that in. And it doesn't take much ink, as you can see. If you have a nice juicy ink pad, and if your pad is not juicy, you need to add a little re-inker onto it and get it nice and juicy. So that is that. Now we're going to come over the top with our gray granite. And these blending brushes, you can purchase them through my online store. So now I'm gonna gray up this blue. I wanted it to be a winter sky, so I didn't want it to be super bright. And I just thought this combination was really pretty because this gray is like a brown gray, and I really liked it. So that's what we're adding to our piece here, adding a little darkness against the bright. And I love the look of it. It gives the sky kind of it might rain kind of look. Okay, so there is the ink blending. All right, now I told you this piece was 5.5 by 8.5. We scored it 2 1/8 from each end. The pieces that we are going to lay over the top are gray granite. So the larger piece of gray granite is 2 7/8 this way by 4 inches this way. And the smaller piece of gray granite, which is taking our designer series paper that goes with this bottom section, is 2 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so on those, we're going to attach our layers. So this is our layer for this one. And then our white background that we inked up is our layer for this one. So let me grab my silicone mat and use our wet adhesive. And we're going to add that to the back and attach that layer first, and then we'll do our DSP. So there's that one. Here's our next one. You can see the back was this beautiful rust Cajun Craze color. This harvest paper is just beautiful, and you guys will love it. It's in the mini catalog, and I will link it in the description below. All right, so here is our DSP. All right. Now, I'm going to explain to you, this piece is going to get attached on this side, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my finger here, and right there is where that goes. So I'm not going to put any glue past where my finger is. So this side gets the glue. So we're going to use the same adhesive, and we're going to put it on this piece here, and we're not going to go past my finger. All right, and that one's going to get glued on the bottom on this end, and we're going to leave 1/8 of an inch on the sides there, just like that. So there's our bottom piece. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the top, only this one's going to get glued on this side. So I'm going to hold it there like I did before. I'm going to put my finger in here. Okay, we're going to open this. I'm going to hold that, and I'm not going to put any glue past where my finger is. So I'm just going to switch fingers because I'm right-handed. I'm going to add some adhesive, and as long as I don't go past that finger, that's all I need. And then this one is going to get attached from the opposite side. So this one gets glued on this side, and again we want to add 1/8 of an inch all the way around is what we want to see, is what I mean. Just like that, and just make sure that it adheres before you lift and open it. Just press your fingers down there. So that's our card, our crossover. Okay, very good so far. Okay, so the inside, let's go ahead and finish the inside of our card. Remember, we're using this piece of gray granite, which is 1/2 inch by 4, and also my piece of DSP that we colored with the blends is 1/2 inch by 4. And we're going to start with the gray granite. We're going to attach that to the inside bottom section like that. And then let's go ahead and add our adhesive to our DSP. You guys see, I always use my tweezers so I don't get glue on my hand, and leave that little edge there. I just really love that gray granite showing. So there's that. I'm going to add this leaf on the inside just like that. Isn't that pretty? I think it's beautiful. So we'll go ahead and add that right here in this corner. So on the inside, when they open the card, they get a little bit of the outside. Okay, so now we're going to use our stylish shapes, and we are using this beautiful shape from the stylish shapes, and that is what is going to go down in this section here. So we're going to stamp that with our Tuxedo Memento Black that says, "Your kindness warms my heart." I have 2 stamps on the same block, but this is the one that we want here. Make sure I ink that up real good. All right. And let's hope that I can do it straight. One can always hope for the best, but you know, we do what we can do. It's all we can do. It's only paper, guys, right? If you mess up, it's only paper. There we go. Your kindness warms my heart. So try not to get stressed out about it because, like I said, it's only paper. All right. So we're going to flat glue this. So let me bring my mat back in. Use the wet adhesive again and add that. And then we're going to lift up our bird and we're going to flat glue our branch. So let me put some on the center here. We don't need it all the way to the end, but just in the center. We'll attach that also at the same time. So we'll start with the branch since it's the closest to me. And I'll add it here onto the bottom section of my top panel here. So there's the branch. Let's add our words to this bottom section of our DSP. Is so beautiful, isn't it? And see how we put those pops of that pumpkin, it really stands out really well. So we're gonna take our pumpkin pie leaf, and I'm gonna grab some dimensionals here. And we're gonna add that to our leaf. And let's put some on our cute little bird. All right, and these dimensional backings don't really like to stay on my Take Your Pick tool, but I'm going to try. We have bunny hair. A bunny hair. My daughter's bunny hangs out in here with me. He's not in here while I record. Sometimes he is, but he can get loud when I start talking. I think he gets excited and thinks I'm talking with him. And so I try and avoid having him in here when I'm filming. But so let's add our bird here in the center on our branch. All right. And then we are going to be using the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. I'm going to use this rusted brushed color. Although I bet you that this color would look really beautiful on there as well. Let's use that one today. Why not? Let's mix it up a little. So let's put one of these down here. Add a small one over here by the branch, maybe right there. And then let's put this big one over here by the birdie. I love it. Oh, that color does look beautiful on there. All of these are pretty. I think they just say fall to me. I really love them. And so I chose those for this particular project. All right. There are our two birds. You can see this one's a little lighter than that one, isn't it? But I think it still turned out amazing. I hope that you guys enjoy. Just like in nature, every bird's not the same, right? So just like when we color, every bird is not the same. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I think I gave you all the dimensions. And I look forward to seeing you next week on Sunday when I start a new project. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. All of the products that I used on this project will be linked in the description below. And don't forget to sign up for my email newsletter if you would like to hear about specials and sales and different things that I like to put in there for my email subscribers. Thanks for being here. I send those out on Thursday, so get signed up for next week. And you guys have a wonderful day. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!